Hey guys, welcome back to Hacking the Headlines. Thank you all for joining me today. I want to go over some more thoughts I have on the supposed mass shooting in Las Vegas. And yes, I do say supposed, and because this is America, we are allowed to question things. We are allowed to look at things from every perspective. So if you have a different perspective than mine, that's great. I'd like to hear your thoughts. But if you're just going to call me names and threaten violence against me, I really don't see the point in that. It doesn't offer anything to the conversation and it's completely pointless. So, but anyway, I want to go ahead and show you guys this clip I found. It's from somebody's cell phone footage. It's of a concert goer at the Las Vegas shooting who is telling the people around him that the shots they're hearing are from the sound system. So go ahead and take a listen to this clip and we'll get into more after that.
Somebody is tapped into the sound system. There's no hits. Nowhere. It's a sound system.
Okay, so if you listen to that clip closely, you will hear the person saying, somebody tapped into the sound system. That's what it is. It's the sound system. And now that was one person's perspective who was at the concert. I wanted to share that with everybody. Regardless of your opinion on it, that was one person's experience and opinion who was there. So, but I also wanted to get into, because in my last video, I briefly mentioned how there would be absolute carnage if a machine gun was truly fired into a large crowd of people with nearly 600 being injured, dozens being killed. And people are telling me that I don't know about firearms. Well, I would argue against that, because even if it was a small caliber, which they've changed the story on this I don't know how many times and given so many different reports, but even if it was a small caliber, there still would be absolute carnage. It would look like a battlefield. I mean, I don't think you people are really imagining what 600 people shot with an automatic weapon would look like. And now the problem is that there is no evidence of this. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I wasn't there. I don't know. But what I can say is that the evidence I have seen so far does not match that of 600 people being shot with an automatic weapon. Doesn't match up. So I'm allowed to ask these questions because, like I said, this is America, and I'm allowed to present this information. And I'm trying to present it in a way that's as fair as possible, knowing the history here. So all the pictures I've looked through, all the pictures I have found, I have picked the worst of the worst, really, the worst, quote unquote, worst I could find. And there is no blood whatsoever. I mean, you have to think that if an automatic weapon was fired, injuring over 500 people, killing dozens more, there would be vital organs that were pierced. There would be major arteries being pierced by these bullets. If people are dying in the field, I mean, so where's the blood? Where is that? I mean, there would have to be a couple people who probably got shot in the stomach, right? They would have intestines hanging out because that's what happens. Um, I mean, the carnage they're describing does not match the photos. Plain and simple. Not saying this proves it's a hoax. I'm just saying those are the facts here. The pictures don't match what we're being told. So I just look at the pictures I'm showing on the screen. They have absolutely no indication of people being shot with automatic weapons by the hundreds. Okay, so where's the footage of people being taken to the hospital? Where's the footage of people screaming in pain from being shot multiple times in some cases? Where's all the graphic evidence of people being covered in blood? Because it wouldn't just be the people who got shot who are covered in blood. It would also be people who are helping those people would also be covered in blood. And there's just nothing. There's no blood. This picture that I'm going to show you here is the worst I could find. I mean, and this was shown in the New York Times. I showed it in my last video. This is the worst picture I have found so far. And I even had somebody say in the last video that the pictures they are showing line up with a automatic machine gun being fired into a crowd of people with over 500 being injured and dozens being killed. Okay, no, it doesn't. That does not line up at all. If you're saying this picture, which is the worst I've been able to find, if you have seen more graphic evidence, send it my way. I'll look at it. This is the worst picture I've been able to find, and it does not line up. Why do I have to explain this? It does not line up with 600 people, almost 600 people being injured. Okay, this picture doesn't line up with that. Again, I am not saying this is proof it did not happen. I'm simply presenting the evidence and putting a question mark over it. There's nothing wrong with doing that. I'm not trying to be insensitive to any victims if there are any. If you have evidence of these victims, please send it my way and I will make another video and, show that evidence more than happily. Either way, I just want the truth. That's honestly what I'm looking for here. So, and what I see right now is undeniably the pictures, the video footage, all the witness accounts do not line up with a battlefield of almost 600 people being injured and killed. They don't line up. That's undeniable. There's no arguing against that. Maybe this evidence exists. Las Vegas is one of the most surveilled cities in the nation. So if 600 people did get injured and shot, well, of course, there's going to be some CCTV footage. There's going to be some surveillance footage from different cameras. We'll see that in the coming days. And if that's what I get presented with, great. I will show that. No problem. I am not trying to deceive anybody or push anybody into what I believe. Simply trying to present the evidence, from the history of what the U.S. government has done with these false flag attacks, these hoax attacks. I have no other choice but to ask for evidence. My rights are being taken away. Your rights are being taken away because of these attacks. So I want some evidence. If my rights are going to be taken away, I want to make sure this stuff is really happening. And if it happened, there would be tons of evidence, right? So that's all. Any court would ask for it. When you try to prove your case, you got to provide the evidence. That's all I want. All I want is the proof. So again, if you have that, please send it my way. If you have additional information, I would be more than happy to take a look at it. But again, I don't see the point in calling me every name in the book. I don't see the point in threatening violence against me. There's probably a more constructive way that you can voice your perspective, and I would be glad to hear it. So I'll be looking forward to that. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe this video, and I'll be talking to you all soon. Hope everyone's doing well, and God bless.
It don't matter if you're a dude. It don't matter if you're a chick. There's plenty of us out here that feel like the world's just going a little crazy. I want to talk just a little bit about false flag events and hoaxes and set-up shootings and the like. How does the Illuminati leave their signature on such things? I just want to cover a few. I'm not going to cover all. I'm also not going to go completely in depth on each and every one of these events, because I think it's very complicated, each and every one. I don't think we can just say these are all fake. Nothing's real, because some of this is real. Some people do get hurt. I believe it's a case-by-case basis. I see it as an amalgamation of mind-controlled killers, mind-controlled patsies, people that'll take the fall. Some of these are completely and totally constructed events. Sometimes people do get hurt. Sometimes people do get shot. Sometimes there are no victims. But again, for this video and for my purpose, I'm not going to go into each and every one of these events. I just want to show you some of the Illuminati signatures I find with some of them. I think it's interesting. I also think it's very important to understand these things. So we're living at a time right now where every week there's a brand new event taking place, specifically in America. Another mass shooting, or another police officer beating or killing a black man. Some kind of police violence or police brutality. And once again, you guys see this too. This is happening at least once a week at this point. We've never seen this before in our history. I really think the New World Order is ramping things up. Once again, I see it as a mix. I do think that a lot of these things are set up and created. I also think that a lot of this stuff is happening through the spiritual, that wickedness really is on the rise in our world. And many of you feel that. Whether you're religious or spiritual or not, you just feel it. You just turn on the TV and you can see it. Wickedness is really manifesting at an accelerated rate all around the globe now. So with all of these events, is it just to take away the guns? Certainly I feel that's part of the agenda. But the other part of the agenda to me is a nonstop campaign of fear. Just creates a non-stop campaign of fear. Every week there's a new event. This keeps people on that frequency of fear. And people can be controlled a lot easier when they're afraid.